back to a brand new episode of Private Parts with me, Liv Bentley. This is the podcast where nothing is off limits. And we have a returning guest this week who slightly lied the last time he was here because he didn't reveal everything and he was a bit of a pussy. So we have got Sam Prince back, who's actually going to tell us everything. Welcome back to my brand new sofa, by the way.
These sofas are amazing.
In all seriousness, though, it was a collab with Dusk. Anyone looking for any
Incredible,
new furniture? But I've just seen you put your bronzer on, so don't get it on there because these are cream.
Well, that's me taken out, isn't it?
No, that will stay in. What do you mean?
I am kidding. I'm happy to be back.
Good.
This is my favourite podcast to go on. Also, my only podcast that I go on because I'm at such high demand at the moment.
Okay, right.
Especially when it's to do with a relationship.
Okay, wait. One comment. What's one comment that you've got that you've read and you've gone, surely not, like something super outrageous or?
Sam's a horrible man. I get that one quite a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say that's not that shocking.
But I'm actually not, though. You know me.
No, you're not in this. I find you highly amusing. My favourite time on Made in Chelsea was with you and Julius Cowdery. I mean, I lived for that.
Listen,
I would fight them to watch those scenes.
I would, if we've said this before on this podcast multiple times, there needs to be a petition to bring that guy back. He is gourmet television. He really is. Honestly, he's incredible. He was my favourite person to film with, you know?
But you and him arguing gave me like a sort of lease of life.
Yeah, I do miss those. A few years ago when we were both filming, it was just so much fun.
Ibiza.
We're back here again, but yeah, Ibiza. It's,
I didn't really do anything this season, did I? Was I even on this season?
I mean, I think I saw you once.
What was I doing?
Not much, to be honest. Filming with Ollie Locke and
doing the naked photo shoot. That's what we were doing.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Oh, what was I doing? I started in the Maldives. That was fun.
Yeah. Wait. You'll actually have to remind me. Firstly, because I don't watch it, and secondly, I don't really ask. What's happened again? You've broken up with Yaz.
Should we start this again?
No. Let's keep going.
Okay. Me and Yaz, we tried this time.
Okay.
I really gave it everything. And it just didn't work out. Me and Yasmin, I have the most love and respect always for Yasmin and her family, and obviously Picasso and Bacalo, her dogs, adore.
Who?
Her dogs, Picasso and
I'm not
Paolo.
familiar with them, but come on.
Good blokes. But we just didn't work out. It was just something that I felt like this time I gave it everything. And
were you living together?
we weren't living together. This time was different. My life, I moved into a new flat. I think my life changed dramatically, but we just couldn't seem to make it work. And then Celebs Go Dating called, and
We've all made that decision in the.
and I just had to pack my bags immediately and go to Ibiza and do the show.
Sounds like a hard fucking decision.
Yeah. But it was tough. Me and Yasmin, we didn't get fully back together, but this time things were really incredible, and I just think there's just so much going on in Yasmin's life and my life, and we would just remain friends.
But wait, was this during filming or was this in the break recently?
This is in the break before Celebs
So
Go
you
Dating.
ended Made in Chelsea together?
Yes, not together. We were working things out.
Yeah.
Planning potential summer together, and then there was just a few things that we just couldn't seem to align on.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it, I think.
You've put this very politely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you like a fan favourite of the couples? Do people want you to be together?
I don't think anyone. The thing is, what I find difficult with you've seen me and Yasmin together. We're really sweet.
Yeah.
But I think what people see on the show is a very different Yaz and Sam for sure. I think also. On the show, I'm not there for a picnic, you know. I'm there for very much.
You're there for the paycheck. You are making it very
not paycheck. I'm there to. It's a drama show, you know. It's not let's be friends. It would be really boring, you know. So I think they probably see a lot of that side and probably understand why the hell is Yasmin with Sam. And but we had an amazing time this time around, but it just didn't work out.
Wow.
But also a great season in Chelsea, I have to say.
Wait, can you
I
run me
watched
through?
every single moment of it.
I haven't watched. Not obviously, but I didn't watch any of it. I actually semi-forgot that I was in it. But what actually happened this season? Started in the Maldives.
So in the Maldives, what happened in the Maldives?
What was any beef there?
I told, a few bits of beef.
What did you get involved in?
What did I get involved with?
Tristan, you've broken up the bromance with the company, the plants that you guys are fanning around doing.
Well, no, what happened? Me and Tristan obviously had a back and forth for a while.
Yeah.
And then obviously in Maldives, I had a few too many drinks, and I said to his girlfriend,
Here we go. What did you say to his girlfriend?
she said something to me, and I said, hey,
She said, I think you're fit or something.
no, she said, back in the day, she said, when you first joined the group, I really fancied you. And I said, well,
When you first joined the group, what, when she was watching you?
No, when she first came into the group. And then I was like, oh, I fancy you now. And then obviously I woke up in the morning with I guess
Anxiety?
I guess anxiety and quite sketchy behaviour after a million beers. And,
Did anything else actually happen? Just
what else happened?
No one else will know. Just tell me.
Don't worry, we just mic'd up and got cameras in front of us. I've had a camera in my face since January.
I know. How have I not been able to manipulate you more? But in all seriousness, was there any more than just that?
No, that was it. What else did we? That was that, and then I gave Yasmin a ring. Yeah.
What, like a promise ring?
I was like, I'm gonna give Yasmin everything this time, so I hopped to Cartier, and thing is, the rings are amazing, but it's the way it's packaged, you know, it's incredible. And
you bought her a Cartier ring?
Yeah, and I gave her keys to my house. Yeah.
God, you really were laying it on thick.
I was laying it on a lot of icing. Yeah.
Did you get the ring back?
No.
How does this work? I didn't like. I would never give something and then ask for it back, but.
I wouldn't.
Would you expect someone, if you gave them towards the end of the relationship something like a Cartier ring?
But who else would I give it to?
No.
Also, it's a ring she always wanted for years, so it's more like
That's quite sweet.
Sweet. Moving on from Yasmin, what else happened this season? What else happened?
I don't know why you're asking me.
I'm trying to think what else
Been running a
happened.
fucking-
Oh, yeah, me and Tristan kind of broke up.
Yeah.
And that was kind of it. But it was a really dramatic season. I have to say, it was a great season.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Who's your favourite new cast member?
My favourite new cast member would have to be, who would?
Don't think too fucking long.
God, I don't know. Freddie. He's not new, but he's my favourite.
Oh, I love Freddie.
Freddie's favourite.
Freddie's sweet. Okay, least favourite cast member. Let's make this quick fire.
Okay, least favourite cast member would have to be
Tristan. Or do you
Can't say
enjoy
that.
it? This is the
Can't
problem
say
though
that.
with you. You're slightly sick a bit. Actually, a bit like, well, I used to be a bit like that. The people that you know you can wind up, so you semi-enjoy filming with them because you know you'll...
Listen, when you film with someone a lot, you know, things like, you can't hate them, you know? We're both being paid to be here. Let's not hate each other too much. But my favourite person to argue with on the show is Temps.
When has Temps ever had a fight with anyone?
Oh, Temps is amazing because you can have an argument with him, but you look at each other and think, oh, I don't hate you, but I like one you up.
The one I think I would really struggle to have an argument would be with Rez because he uses an array of huge words and then I'll just get confused and go, what?
Rez also is the most articulate man I've ever
see,
seen.
that was always...
He wrote a paragraph to me the other day and I said, blimey, it's bloody Shakespeare.
Is it chat GPT though?
I was like, this is the most intense WhatsApp ever. But he's so articulate, yeah.
Okay, so now officially because you've completed Hinge, you're back on Celebs. You're not back, but you're on Celebs Go Dating.
Yeah, I got the Hinge. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've completed Hinge. I didn't actually. Hinge wasn't for me. There's something about the swiping.
What celebs have you got on there at the moment?
So we've got Cara Katona.
I really want to meet her. She
Can I
seems
tell you
stoked.
something? If I joined the show and I thought I'd be close with Cara Katona, I'd be like, no, I couldn't see us ever collaborating, ever being friends.
Collaborating.
But Cara Katona is my favourite person on the show.
She seems so like down to earth and normal.
But also energy. She walked into a room and you know Cara Katona's in the room.
Really?
Happiest lady, so sweet, messages me every day, how are you?
God.
And I said, she is just adorable.
Yeah.
We've also got on the show Olivia Hawkins.
Yeah, you introduced me to her the other evening.
Yes, who was on Love Island. Lovely girl, sweetheart, bit misunderstood. I think people think she has like.
What was her role on Love Island? Like, what did she come away with?
She said basically there's a message. She had some drama.
Right.
Which I immediately thought, hey, we'll be friends.
Yeah.
And she was a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Another guy called Louis Russell. Never heard of this guy, but this guy's doing worldwide PAs.
I know.
Done 6 weeks of filming, like Too Hot to Handle here and there. Traveling the world doing PAs.
This is the problem, right? I've done Chelsea for 9 years. Am I close to getting 1 million followers? No. Like, it's just not going to happen. Then you get these people who go on those other shows, making more bank than you can imagine.
I have just hit 102k on Instagram, guys. So
that honestly, after how many years?
Huh? After relentless filming all year round for about 5 years.
Is it us though? Because I don't know if it's.
I was so horrendous. The start of last season, I actually lost followers.
I think you were about to say I actually bought followers.
Yeah. I started buying them. Yeah, all my day rates just going on followers. No, but I actually lost followers. So it's really good that I'm hitting it hard on main Chelsea. It's great.
Well, listen, you might get a bigger following from Celebs Go Dating. You need to go on that Inside show. Although this was the problem. When I did Inside, I went up 100,000 followers, fucking lost them all. But I am trying to flog vibrators, and I don't think 18-year-old boys want to buy those. It's not the right market,
never
really,
know.
is it?
You never know. But I did do Celebs Go Dating, and you did too.
Yeah.
They spoke very highly. They said you're amazing on there.
Really?
Yeah.
I just remember being a bit pissed. I actually
Kissing
loved
everyone.
it. But I had a really good time doing it. And then I spoke to, because who else did it? Miles did it. But a lot of other people didn't actually enjoy it. But I think I don't know, I can't remember how old I was. But I'd just broken up with Digby. And actually, Digby and I were meant to go on because when I did it, they have a couple that come on and do the therapy side of it.
Really?
Yeah, so there was Charlotte Dawson and her boyfriend, who I don't know if they're married now. But anyway, they came on as a couple to have that therapy. So Digby and I were meant to do that. And then we broke up. And then they said, do you want to just come on? And I thought, fuck it. Wow. But I had a great, I had Amy Childs, Alison Hammond. Also, it was so much, I loved it.
But also, they treat, obviously main Chelsea's incredible, the production's incredible, but
are you doing everything? The production was amazing.
They treat you incredible. I leave my house, there's a car there. They're messaging me, what do you want for breakfast? I said, I don't get this service.
But wait, have you gone away?
I went to Ibiza, yeah.
Oh yeah,
They called me and I had to get on a flight the next day.
Yeah, because you were meant to come. Yeah, I was meant to see you.
And it was so, because I have never done another TV show. I've only ever done main Chelsea.
Oh yeah.
So I'm only used to those, and I've obviously done a few podcasts. Well,
yeah.
Probably only this one, but done a few podcasts. But it was a really interesting experience.
What do you think about Paul and Anna?
Paul has an aura.
I know
that sounds so weird to say, but you walk into a room and you know Paul's in the room. He is just
cool, calm, and collected.
Cool, calm, collective, suave. He is just incredible. And also, I did it obviously because I need to meet the love of my life immediately. So if you are out there, please get in touch. But I also, I also.
Can I just maybe I just stop you there actually.
Interrupt me again.
Out of the times you've been single or been in a relationship, majority of your life you've actually been in a relationship. I think it's just one to the next to the next.
Thank you for calling me out, but I think no, I prefer being in a relationship than being single. Yeah, but I normally give it a few years before. I'm not going to mention names here, but I normally give it at least a year.
Get that. Let's get back to it. What were we talking about before?
Back to
Paul and Anna.
Paul and Anna. Anna was incredible during the whole experience. She was like the tough mother for me because she would tell me exactly how it is. I don't know if I can give much away, but I have a habit of going on dates with someone and I obviously have a few drinks, get into the chit chat. You know, I like chatting to everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God, we should go on loads of dates. We should do another date. And I learned so much of how I should act and also where I go wrong. Also,
what did they say about where you were going wrong?
I need to be. I can't go into full details but what I can say is that I need to be more myself.
Yeah.
It got emotional. I was more vulnerable on this show than I ever have been. I cried. It was a big kind of switch up to main Chelsea because with main Chelsea, I normally walk into a room and majority of the people
want to egg you,
want to egg me or don't like me. So it was a very kind of interesting experience, and I'd love to go. It was just amazing.
So do you think people watching will see a totally different side to you then?
I mean, I'm going to watch it back and think, who's this guy? Because it was just me on it was a very different experience. I also had lots of stuff going on personally away from cameras. It was a very different Sam, and I'm happy that I got to show that. I just feel like with main Chelsea, it's just sometimes a bit gritty, you know? Sam having fights every week, like exhausting.
I think with Made in Chelsea, one sort of has their role, and then that's kind of what you are.
Yeah, I've been playing that role for a while now.
But
it's
you
when
are
you walk
good
into
at
the
it.
pub and people are like, you're a villain. I'm like, ah.
I always get people going, oi, oi, as if I'm like Jack the Lad.
The other one I walked into, where was it? The one with Castle. People going, boo. I was like, mate, I'm not at the pantomime. I'm here for a lager, not a bloody scrap.
Wait, surely not. People actually troll you in real life to your face?
Recently, after the last season, because I was pretty chaotic. Yeah, I got trolled a lot. Yeah.
Have you ever responded to a troll?
Sometimes if it's like Peter, you should say something horrible. I just sometimes say thank you, Peter. Yeah.
Okay, right. When does Celebs Go Dating come out?
Celebs comes out in August of this year. I'm excited. I'm also nervous. Also because they don't send you the apps before.
Yeah.
And you meet.
Okay, right. No, this is what I want to know.
Let's go through the whole thing.
So you go in. What have you said for your top? When you describe the sort of person you're going for, what do you say? Let's start with the looks.
It's not all about looks, but
No, I know it's not, but we'll start with that section.
I think great chat,
Okay.
fun, spontaneous, and just someone who I just want someone who I can chat to. And I like brunettes.
Yeah, you do actually.
I
didn't
do,
know
yeah.
that. Okay.
But if you're blonde and got great chat and spontaneous and we have a good time, it's also, I know, I hate to say this, I never thought I'd say this, but if they've got like
Followers.
fun energy. No, actually, lower the following, better. Yeah.
I said this though, is that
Yeah.
I actually think it's a massive turn on when a guy doesn't have Instagram.
Like we said in the car.
Yeah. But the problem is, it turns out some people lie about that and they actually have a secret Instagram. So I don't know.
When someone has like I said in the car, like 500 followers, I think that is just high end, you know? Post once a year, you know, not really interested in Instagram, doesn't even have TikTok, you know? I think that's really great. There's something I think is quite attractive.
Is that so interesting, isn't it? People's value used to be on how many followers they've got. Now it's on how
Yeah.
little followers they've got.
500.
So actually, you're doing all right then.
To be honest, I'm killing it when it comes to that. Yeah. How many followers you got? Fuck all.
So, okay, wait, hang on. Who was the first person they set you up with? Was it someone that I know you can't say,
Yeah.
but was it someone did they show you a photograph? I can't remember what it was like when I did it.
The first date I go on in Celebs, I wish I could tell you more, but it is the most fascinating date I've ever been on.
Wait, what do you mean?
We would have never crossed paths ever. She's in part of the country I've never been to.
Had you heard of it? Can you spell
She
it?
also gave me a review on the date in front of all of production, all of the cast, all the other datees, and absolutely. I can't go into details, but I can say something. It was such good television on her behalf. I nearly clapped her out. So that's going to be one
is she,
that I have to watch back.
But in the beginning, did you do the mixer where you've got to? Because I remember when I did it, and they were like, I had to be the first one to do it, and you've got to go down these steps into a massive room.
I bet you quite like that.
Well, no, I saw a bloke who I've seen in the ship a few times. I thought, what the fuck are you doing here?
Perfect. I'm here.
Yeah. But wait, is that not how you started it?
I started it. No, I actually was late on to the show.
Oh yeah.
Probably maybe someone bigger pulled out. So they were like, let's get this Sam Prince guy on. So I didn't actually do a mixer, but I did lots of brunches. And brunches is where you go on a certain amount of dates.
Yeah.
And then you have this all day kind of brunch. And the datees stand in front of you and give you feedback on your dates, which is honestly quite nerve-wracking, you know, because also I can't remember what I said and what their actual reviews are.
Were you drinking?
Was I drinking?
Yeah.
I've had a few lagers throughout the process, yeah. For sure.
Okay, so that's quite good then.
It's good. But the thing that got me was the agency part, because you go into this agency. Obviously, you've been there.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful agency. I didn't realize how high.
Tom, oh my god, I love Tom.
Yeah.
Tom's the best.
But he speaks another language.
No,
you know
I know.
that? Yeah,
I
yeah.
photographed him naked. Is there a photo
Shit.
on the wall in the thing?
I didn't see anyone with their naked.
He was covering himself with Moby Dick.
Oh wow. But it was just the agency, learning about yourself, hearing feedback. You do deep dives of your life, of past experiences, past relationships, and that for me was I really enjoyed that. It was like basically TV therapy, which is great, I guess.
No, but I actually think it's quite good because when I did it, I really enjoyed it. Like,
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It was interesting. Do you think you've learnt? Do you think when you look back at all your relationships, does one stand out to being the most damaging one?
My relationships.
Yeah, as in which one of your exes would you say probably hurt the most or caused you to potentially be the way you are?
I wouldn't say my ex caused me to be the way I am. No way. But I would say there's definitely relationships which stick out and which I think I still feel something for sure. And I think you can also see that throughout the process.
Yeah.
I think when you've had a great relationship with someone and you still have that connection, it's really hard to like not try and look for that person in someone else.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
But, I mean, my dating track record is nothing to be.
I mean,
admired.
you could write a nice novel about it.
I think it would be a thriller.
Yeah,
potentially a horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely probably a sequel as well.
Thanks. I'm now going to be celibate for a long time, I feel. I think dating is quite hard though. Like I remember before I did Celebs, I'd been with Digby, but prior to Digby, and I met Digby on Made in Chelsea. So I wasn't a dater. I mean, it's not, but that's why it was quite nice. And actually, I know everyone says it's TV, but you do genuinely date. I mean, I had some fucking shockers when I was on there. One bloke who was so questionable, I had to leave. But actually, some of them were quite sweet.
Yeah.
I went axe throwing. I nearly threw the axe at the bloke accidentally.
Of course.
He was a roofer
Axe
from
throwing.
Brighton. One of them actually messaged me the other day,
Really?
which was odd. Yeah.
One thing about Celebs Go Dating it's the most real. Obviously, Main Chelsea is real. All the storylines are real. What's going on is completely real. But with Celebs Go Dating, you feel like it's an actual date. Like you have actual people in the restaurant. There's no like hush hush. You walk in and you're meeting this person for the first time. And it'll be honest with you, it was really nerve wracking. Also, I was like, I'm actually going on a date on camera, and it was really nerve wracking. And just order normally. It's a very kind of, I guess, real life dating show. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hence the name. Yeah.
Hence Celebs Go. The only thing is I'm not a celeb, but I guess.
Yes, you are.
I guess, but yeah, I'd do it again. It was great.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
We can't really say a huge amount more about it, can we? To be honest. Okay.
Annoyingly, no.
Okay. Now we've got a little section called "Summer in London," according to Sam Prince. Sorry, I just read it. I thought it said quickie, and I'm not having a quickie with Sam Prince. Okay, "Summer in London," according to Sam Prince.
Yeah.
Quick fire. Okay.
Listening.
This means really quite quick because I know what you're like. You like to mull over your answers.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect date spot. Don't say the Bluebird.
Honestly, Walmer Castle, Notting Hill, a few beers.
Okay.
Yeah. On a Saturday, also, by the way. It's.
How much are you being
unbelievable.
paid for this?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it's very. Also, another spot which I love: Fat Badger in Notting Hill. Incredible.
Oh my god, I've been there. And you go upstairs and it's quite boozy.
You go upstairs, different crowd. Big
Okay.
queue. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Gosh, he
evening.
really is going quick fire. Go on.
Evening cocktails.
Not a cocktail sort of guy. I can't say. But if I had to go anywhere for a cocktail, no, not. I would never go for a cocktail.
You look like a Shirley Temple kind
Do you
of
want to meet for a cocktail? No, I don't.
guy. Actually, you saying that does sound rather odd.
Yeah, gonna go
Okay.
for a cocktail.
Favorite position.
Missionary.
And that's why you're on Celebs Go Dating. No. Summer walk.
Summer walk.
Yeah.
Richmond along the river, incredible. Also, amazing date spot. Went there the other day. The boats.
For someone who's nervous of dating, you're not shy about knowing locations.
Huh? But also,
Are you?
I don't just date on camera all the time, Olivia.
You are a ferocious dater. Okay, worst place to go on a date.
The Bluebird.
It's really awful. I
The
actually
Bluebird,
didn't-
because your mum, your fucking nan's there, your brother's there, everyone's there. It's just a really awkward spot.
I did a podcast the other day and someone asked me favorite place to go, and I actually said the Bluebird because you can sit outside and smoke. Sounds awful, but I mean it's quite nice.
Also, it's down the road, I guess.
Huh?
But also, you pop in there on a Friday night, Tom, Dick, and everyone's in there. Yeah.
Okay, hangover brunch spot.
Firstly, hangover, let's not hang out. But if I had to go to a brunch spot, I would have to go to. Oh God, I'm trying to think. Where would I go to?
You've been paid to film all over London. You can't suggest a brunch spot.
Brunch spot. I can't think. Olivia, Megan's maybe. Probably not.
Okay, we're going downhill here. Big night out / sesh venue. Are you a bit sad that Raffles is closed?
No.
I bet you've been into embargoes
No,
recently, haven't you?
Embargoes is over. That my time is gone now. I'm now 28 years old, so I can't. They wouldn't let me in. You're too old.
I actually, this is shocking, went with my brother not too long ago.
I bet you did.
It was awful.
I bet you did.
No, because I was like 30 and they're 19, 18.
You're not 30.
I'm 31 this year.
We're both 25. Olivia.
Okay, thank you.
But I've been going occasionally. I pop out on a Saturday to Rex Room, which is a new club.
Oh yeah,
King's Road.
151. That's quite fun in there.
But I also like recently discovered Mason Estelle.
Oh yeah, that's quite nice. But it's not very clubby. That's more like private
It's
members.
more- yeah, but it's nice. It's
You know what I
nice
love? The box. I wouldn't mind a
it's
night
too
there,
fair.
to be honest.
The box is good, but also you need you're not there for a drink. You know, it's a bit of more of a contract job. You're there for a few hours. You know, and you're probably not going to go home straight after either, are you? Yeah.
Why are you saying that's so monotone? Okay, most romantic views.
Most romantic views
Yeah.
in London. Most romantic views. Wow, this is soppy. London Eye, I guess, quite romantic. Where else is good on a view? I went to the Shard for dinner. That was quite romantic the other day. Yeah, great views.
Digby, this is so sweet.
God, Digby's getting a lot of airtime today.
I
Do you
just
want him
love
back or
Digby.
something?
No, I do. Diggers.
Fucking-
He used to take me on day dates, and he'd always take me for breakfast up the Shard.
Can I up the
It's
shot?
really sweet.
Can I
Up
tell
my
you something?
shard.
He loved you.
I loved him.
He, you know what? He loved you.
He,
would've-
you know what? Recently, I've actually been thinking about him, and I think I've had my karma recently. Oh, I did. I mean, I wasn't. Yeah, whatever. I was a knob back then. Oh well. Underrated date night spot. You strike me as the type who'd do something a bit active, like go to the ping pong thing.
you know what? I hate plans.
What do
Yeah.
you?
Do you know when people are like, oh, that's. A friend of mine likes to plan the night out. I was like, what the fuck are we planning? We're not at school. I don't need a timetable. I like to go for a beer and then we'll just.
Yeah,
see
but
what
no, but
happens.
if you're going on a date with a girl, you wouldn't say, "All right, meet me for a pint."
No, I did
and
it the other day. I said we'll meet for a beer and then we will see what happens.
So you just sort of wing it.
No, but
but
I
as
also-
a girl going on a date, if a guy said, "Oh yeah, just come meet me here. I'm watching the football, and then we'll go do something," I'd be a bit like, "Well,
Depends
that's."
if it's the first date. If it's second date, then we book the dinner. I also am not a big fan of eating in front of people that eat. Do you know what I mean?
We're going to get onto this because you have some rather peculiar habits that I think should be
Olivia,
discussed.
if you want to open up to, I've
Okay,
got a few
we've got a
habits we
few
need to-
more on the quick fire. Okay,
Quick fucking fire! Come on.
okay. A place you wouldn't expect to see Sam
Place you'd never see me.
on a marathon or something. I don't know.
Running the marathon, maybe unless it's a charity. Maybe I would do that. What embargoes? You'd never see me there. Where else would you never see me? Westfield. I went to Westfield the other day. You ever been to Westfield? Yeah. You want to work out? Go to Westfield. Do you know why? Because you want to find the shop you want to find. Impossible. It's like where's Wally? You have to walk around and walk around. I made a TikTok which I probably will never post, but I was like, you're telling me people do this for fun? It is. I was trying to find All Saints, and there was another shop. I don't know which one. Office. I wanted to get some new shoes. Round and round and round. There's different fucking levels.
It's a shopping
Westfield.
centre.
If Westfield, where's the map? That's what I want to know.
Just do it online. Okay, guilty pleasure spot. Somewhere that you actually, yeah. Where is there somewhere that you quite like, but if you told anyone, they'd be a bit like, oh.
God, I feel like I spend my life running around. Gold.
That's not an all place.
No,
That's a nice
no,
place.
but like it's become like everyone's been going there, but like deep down, I really like Gold. Sitting outside,
People watching.
with a
That's
couple of-
actually one of my favourite hobbies.
Couple of glass of water, unbelievable.
Okay, what's one place in London that's an absolute no-go?
One place in London that's a no go.
Trying to think where people we know would hang out. That's sort of
Anywhere that do organised fun, you know, like Putt Shack.
Oh, sorry.
Putt Shack, you know.
Oh, mini golf.
Indoor putting in central London. Let's not. What else have we got? Bowling, you know.
See, I'm actually the opposite. I mean, I wouldn't. It's really not my cup of tea. Probably doing that kind of thing. But on a first date, doing something slightly more active takes the pressure off a little bit.
I didn't realise you were so active.
I'm active. No, I'm not that active actually. Keep going then. What else is a no for dating?
Hygiene. Obviously, I don't agree with shower once a day. Sorry.
Sorry, say that again. You only like people who shower once a day?
No. I think you should. I think if you're working in London, shower in the morning and shower in the
I
evening.
think humans generally should try and shower every day. If
No,
you
but
can.
more than once, Olivia. It's 30 degrees out there. You're saying you shower once, you go out all day, then what? You just get into bed. We've had this
No,
discussion before on this pod.
I understand that, but okay, fine. So ideally, anyone applying for Sam Prince, just make sure you shower twice a day.
Dirt under the fingernails.
Was that? Can I be totally honest with you? That's more of a blokey thing, and they're quite shocking. And your feet, on the other hand, that's a whole other thing.
Mine?
Not yours, but
I've got
men's
great
generally. Like I had an ex, and I would take him. He didn't actually have bad feet, but I would make him come and get a pedicure with me, which I actually would recommend. I think guys should get them anyway. Feet are a really quite disgraceful thing.
I can't stand feet too.
Yeah, you also. What's your other thing? Tell me, okay, right?
No, I
your
can't.
ick list. Sam can't even say the word, but he can't bear people farting, which I actually do agree with. Would you dump a girl if she farted?
It's horrific. It's horrific, Olivia.
No, I know, but would you?
Olivia, firstly, we're not going to say that word again. And also,
What would you like to call it? What would you say?
firstly, we don't need to talk about it. But also, if I had to call it anything, I'd probably call it like, I don't know, like a pop or something.
No, you would not call
But
it
how,
that.
what would you, pass wind? I
Oh,
don't
that
know.
makes me sound. It makes me sound like an old woman saying
But also
that. No,
the other one, burping. I think just any
I think-
sort of bodily functions.
yeah.
Girls don't do it.
But I read something the other day, and I I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of bodily things. It makes me feel uncomfortable if I see people yawning. Like I really don't like it.
Yawning?
I don't like it. People in their cars always yawning and they don't cover their mouth. It really upsets
Do you know
me.
what I've noticed
that
also?
picking noses. But
People do. I've been in a few cabs recently on the way to these bloody dates, and I've seen a lot of people picking their nose in the
no,
back
it
of
makes me
cabs.
feel sick.
And I was like, how is that appropriate? Ever?
One of my sweet sisters does it to fuck with me, but also people in cars. She'll look at them and then she goes like that and just keeps her finger in her nose. I read something the other day and
Yes.
thoughts on this. I personally have never gone to the bathroom in front of anyone.
Oh
I
my-
struggle peeing
Listen.
in public generally. So anything else that's out of the question.
You want to end the relationship? Do that in front of
But
me.
so I read an article and it said it means you've got a healthy relationship if that's what you do. I personally
sorry.
don't. Has anyone ever gone to the loo in front of you?
No, never. I've never heard any of my ex-girlfriends ever. No. I just it's that. Go to the loo like number two, number two in front of me.
Yeah.
Incorrect. That'd have to be over. Yeah. Obviously I've been to Bali a few times filming and with Yasmin and lots of times.
Lots of exes in Bali.
Huh?
Inga?
Sorry.
Okay, as we were.
As we were. God, I haven't had that name in a while. Where are you? No, I'm joking. I went to Bali for the first
Yeah.
time, and we were filming out there, and people were like, I'm not someone to get poorly, you know.
I hate, firstly, let me stop you there. Don't use the word poorly. It's an awful word. Say I wasn't very well.
Poorly.
Yeah, I don't like it. Anyway.
Poorly tummy.
Oof.
Oof. God,
Okay, yeah,
I know what you mean.
continue.
Anyway,
So
so I went to Bali, we were filming, and everyone's like, "Be careful of Bali belly." And I never get poorly. I'm sorry, I never get unwell. Better. I never get unwell, and I was like, "I'm not going to get it." They just said, "Don't drink the water." I said, "I'm not going to drink the tap water anyway. I like a bottled water." Anyway, Julius Cowdery gets Bali belly, and he's like running out of scenes, so unwell. And I was like, "This guy is a pissy." I was like, "This guy." You're telling me he can't film because he's got Bali belly? I said, unheard of. I said, I'm not missing a scene ever. Anyway, a week passes and I'm like, I can't move. I couldn't eat. And I hate this is so uncomfortable when it's on camera, but this was an experience. It's the most poorest I've ever been in my life. The sickest I've ever been in my life. Where to the point I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink. I spent majority of my time on this Balinese loo, and it was just horrendous.
But were you and Yaz sharing? Were you with Yaz?
I was with Inga at the time.
Oh, Inga, sorry. Were you sharing a room?
Yeah.
My worst
No.
nightmare.
Listen to this. So a week passed, and I was like, I'm gonna get through this. But I was losing weight rapidly. Couldn't. It was so uncomfortable. I'd have a Coke. Like I needed some sort of sugar, so I'd have like a Diet Coke. I'd sip it. It was just horrendous. Honestly, horrendous. Anyway, sorry to talk about this. Anyway, Inga says to me, we should. I'm taking you away to Uluwatu for a few days. I'm thinking, fantastic. I can barely move, but I was like, let's go. Anyway, it's in this shack, beautiful shack, but on the beach, stunning. It gets like 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, Inga, you've got to leave the room immediately, because it wasn't just one of those closed bathrooms. It was one of these open floor ones with just like a little kind of pathetic door, you know. So after that, but yeah, Bali belly is a real thing, and Julius is not a pussy. It is real, and I had to check myself into a real hotel for 2 days, and then the only way you can get rid of it if you have an IV drip. And Inga was like, can I come with you to do the I was like, no. So I got on this bike by myself. Could barely fucking think, see. I haven't eaten for 2 weeks. I'm on this bike, just like, get me to this hospital. Anyway, arrived at this hospital. There was no queue. They gave me, honestly, 1 million pills. I was like, no, just the IV drip. The next day I was fine. I was back eating, and
Did anyone else other than you and Julius
there's
get
a
it?
few people that got it, but also if I was this sick, I'd probably keep it a secret, you know. But it was just unmanageable to keep a secret because I was so unwell. Yeah, I remember just laying in bed.
I'm not being funny, but I actually wouldn't go to Bali purely because of that.
No, but once you have it once, yeah, it's an absolute ick. Once you have it once, you don't really get it again. But I remember being in Bali, thinking this is the most amazing place, laying there like shaking and just doing ceiling patrol for hours. Just get me through whatever the fuck this is. Just get me through it. Yeah. That was my first, but and I've been a few times since, and Bali's an incredible spot.
Okay, wait. Quick question. Say it was the other way around, and Inga was sick like that. What would you have done?
Huh?
If it was the other way around and Inga was the one who was
I'm a carer though, so I would if I love someone, it's like I like caring for people. I think you know that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I like but hey, listen, it'll be fucking tough, you know.
Chelsea, what do you call it thing? Okay, right. We have got some listener dilemmas and confessions.
Okay.
Okay.
Listening.
So this one's for you, Sam, all right?
Okay.
Confession. My friend peed in a container and used an eyedropper to get it into her cousin's mascara because she started dating her ex. The cousin couldn't work out why she kept getting conjunctivitis. This went on for months.
Who the hell are these people, and where did you find this sort of confession? Sorry?
I have never heard of something
Sorry?
like that.
But did they write in and tell
Yeah,
you?
someone's written that in. Actually, I've got a weird one. I was at home like this a month ago, and the police were running around on the street, and I thought, this is fucking weird. Anyway, they had one of those things that you barge people's doors down, and I was like, what's going on? And I'm like neighborhood pervert, like I have to look out the window and watch everything going on. Anyway, there's a neighbor who's a woman. I've never seen her, but she pees into her teapot and pours it on people's doormats.
We spoke about this last time. You told me this.
Did I?
Yeah.
Isn't that slightly extraordinary? Well, I think she may have died because I saw them clearing out the flat yesterday. I don't know, but it's extraordinary. But what is it with peeing and it's like a dog marking its territory? I mean, peeing in and getting someone to put it on their mascara is actually quite disgraceful.
Again, bodily fluids, bodily functions. We don't need to know. Don't need to know.
You know what? I think a bit of like revenge is all right.
I mean, that is savage. Hey, I'm always up for savage behaviour, but that is like getting someone that is all in. That's not out. That's in.
I've got a friend who's great with this kind of thing, and what she used to do, I think she had a really tricky neighbour. This is shocking. She would pick up dog shit and put it the other side of the door handles of their car, so the people would open the car and get shit on their hands.
Wow.
Isn't that?
But also, just the process of picking up the dog.
I know I couldn't pick up that. That's the one reason I don't have a dog.
Can't say the dog feces. Terrible.
Ooh, okay.
Gritty.
Next one. Question for Sam. Hey Sam, who is your ultimate dream celebrity crush, and would you ever slide in the DMs?
Angelina Jolie in the 90s. It was just just gourmet. She's just so cool, you know. There was something like she was just unbelievable. Well, she still is. She still is incredible.
Yeah.
I don't think she has Instagram. She would never reply, and but she's up there.
Okay, who have you DM'd?
Oof.
That is one could class as a celebrity.
Oof.
And don't even consider lying.
Bleep it and just do a big reaction.
Yeah, just say.
I haven't. No.
You have. You don't. Come on, we all have. I'll tell you one of mine.
Do you know who I actually did DM the other day? Is Lola Young. You know that singer?
The singer. But
do you know why? And did you see what happened on the Capitol?
Oh, with her
headphones. And there's a video of her going backstage upset, and it made me so emotional because I feel like she sung her little heart out.
Yeah.
I messaged her and I said, I just think you're fucking great.
Did she reply?
No.
No.
No, but I just thought she's so adorable.
Yeah, no,
so
that's
adorable.
actually quite a sweet thing to do. No, but I know you have DM'd. What would be your DM chat up line if you were trying it on with a girl on Instagram?
I think I would probably start with emoji, maybe the dancing lady. You know, to slide in there. But then also,
if someone sent that to me.
What else would I say? You know, I'm terrible at texting. You know that.
I know, but
I'm a caller. Get me on the phone. On the phone.
How?
Absolutely
Okay,
fine.
right. How? Okay, actually, if you met a girl or started talking to a girl online, how quickly would you ring them on the phone before physically meeting up with them?
No.
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 How long would you chat to someone online before initiating a date?
Depends. I've had this situation recently where I've met someone on a night out, started speaking over text, and then we went for a drink, and then I start calling and having those sort of conversations. I feel like you need to have that connection first. For
yeah,
sure.
but do you think there should be not a limit but a semi time frame? If you start talking to someone, like messaging them, and you've never met them, how long from that until you actually meet up? If you don't end up meeting up,
I think immediately.
yeah, because I would assume, because surely you lose sort of interest. Anything after a week, if you've been chatting, you don't meet up with something odd.
I'm impatient. Why do you want to text for a couple of weeks and I meet up and I hate you?
So aggressive. Okay, summer. Oh, we've got another confession. Summer festival confession.
God.
Had sex with a random guy in a tent at a festival while we were soaking up the moment of the festival. I didn't know I got my period until the next day when, and bracket, I cannot make this up. No. Oh my God. His chin had some dry blood on it. Also, parts of the sleeping mat and tent looked like a murder scene. I've never left a one-night stand faster. I still think of him to this day, but I would never be able to look at him in the eyes again. Oh my God.
Can I say something? That is so gritty. That is so gritty. That is so tough. Oh my days. God. Oh God.
Oh no, I feel sick.
Like that's
No, I'm sorry. If you
How-
don't look at and there
also-
was dried blood on his chin, Sam's gonna be sick.
But also just navigating that in the morning, like looking, like oh my God, you'd have to just run. You would just run.
Okay, actually, okay. What's your sort of most awkward walk of shame?
Awkward walk of shame.
Yeah, like have you ever woken up in the morning and gone fuck? And
Yeah.
actually legged it.
Yeah, I have. I woke up in the morning and said, so lovely to meet you. This is like when I was younger. And I was so desperate to leave and I was so hungover, I left with just one shoe. Yeah. I was in the cab on the way home with one shoe on. I was just like, I need to get out of here. Yeah, that happened once.
Have you ever done a runner in the middle of the night?
No, it's not very respectful, is it really?
Sorry, you've done one season of Celebs Go Dating and you'll become some sort of therapy.
Can I tell you something?
You were an absolute dog back in the day.
No, I've never ran. I've never just run off. No, but I have just wanted to leave. Yeah, but almost like you can't just leave in the night though. It's so rude. It's also back in the day when I could never just kick someone out. I could
No,
never do
that's
that.
always a bit
I'd
awkward.
never do that. No,
I had a sweet guy once, and
once
well,
upon a time.
Let's not fanny around. Obviously, it was more than once. And in the morning, he said, "Well, I like a cup of tea," and I said, "Yeah, I'd love a peppermint tea. Put milk in it." I thought, oh.
Oh
And
my
so
God!
then I
Someone who
sort
can't
of-
make a cup of tea.
And then he gave it to me. And I thought, oh, I can't fucking drink that.
What's one thing you hate about just dating? One thing you just can't stand?
I mean, one thing.
Because we're actually both single now, which has actually been.
I'll be totally honest, I don't actually like dating. Like, I'm not a dater, really. And I'm also really not a relationship person. I'm quite content just doing my thing.
Okay.
I'm not, as in, it's really not hard at the moment, but I'm in that, like, we're in
not
that.
hard at the moment.
What?
Sorry, nothing.
We're in that phase where, like, half of my friends are getting pregnant and getting married, and I'm just not. But I don't know, I'm just not that bothered. I think I've just had a bit of a rough time with blokes.
No, but I think you're the happiest and the best you've looked. I
I'm
think
the
being
best
single.
when I'm single, if I'm, yeah totally honest.
I agree. I think I'm definitely better when I'm single. But I just love that being in love, you know?
I do too. But I think the thing is, now that I'm like, there's more on the line now. It's so different now. And there's so much, you've got to think of everything as a whole. It's not just like, you know, when you're younger and you're dating, it's just fun. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. Whereas now it's like the next person I date, ideally it would be someone I want to marry. And like with my ex, to be honest, I thought I was going to marry him. I thought it was going to be like the rest of my life. Sadly, it fucking wasn't. So now I'm almost like, I'm not scarred. And I think, you know what, to be totally honest with you, recently I've had a lot of therapy and I never know. I actually don't know what I want, but I know what I don't want.
That's good. No.
And my problem is,
Do you find, also you're at the 30 mark?
thank you, yeah.
Sorry to.
I'm seeing Dr. Motox on Monday, so I'll be back at the 25 mark.
Do you feel like there's more pressure to find someone now? You've hit that.
I did, but now I don't. But but I think it's actually pressure one puts on themselves. Like, I enjoy things. I want to have kids, yeah, but I'm not right now. I really want to, there's so much stuff I would like to do before I even get to that point. But I also don't want to date for the sake of dating. Like, it's not
Agreed.
a huge part of my life.
Agree.
I've also launched a vibrator. Like, you know, I'm not.
Yeah,
You know,
I also
are
think
fine.
things just happen, but also when they do happen, they happen so quickly.
Yeah, and the other thing is about I think
Look
it's
at us
really
giving advice,
hard.
both absolutely single.
I
Perfect.
know it's hilarious, but no, but I think I like if I meet someone, I meet them, but if I don't, I don't. Like I'm not gonna force it. But I think it is fucking hard. I don't know if it's a society thing, but I mean, yeah. If you say to someone I'm 30 and I'm single, people seem to be like, oh,
But I think 30 is the new 20, no? I think it is.
it is. Well, with the amount of salmon sperm I'm not ingesting. Some what do you call it? Injecting.
Ingesting.
Yeah, I'm not
Injecting it.
ingesting. Well, never mind what I'm ingesting. Anyway, let's move on. We've got another question for Sam.
Please.
Okay, Sam, you pride yourself on your good looks. So would you rather lose all of your hair or lose all your teeth?
I don't pride myself on good looks, but
Sam, by the way, let's just stop this for one moment, please. All right, what did you nip out and do the second we got in here? You had a bronzer brush with you.
Well, Charlotte's. I'm vlogging today, guys.
Sam is so used to social media, along with me, by the way, that he's got Charlotte here vlogging for him.
We're doing more of what I do behind the scenes, behind the camera. That's what I've been told to do by Wendy, my agent. Thank you, Wendy. And we're here today. But my biggest fear, I think I've told you this, my biggest fear is losing the lid. If I lose the hair, with hair, right, you can get a hair transplant. Always at SNAF. I've never seen one transplant like, that's top. So for me, it's like protect the hair at all costs, organic foods, biotin, and limit the drinking.
You've got quite a thick thatch, though. What are you nervous of happening to it?
The biotin currently it really has kicked in.
Yeah, but I recently someone told me to try this biotin, but apparently hair grows everywhere.
Can I tell you something? Also, the eyebrows have got bushier, I have to say.
So you're telling me
I might even grow a chest hair. We never know.
You'd rather be toothless than hairless.
Teeth, I think I could. Thing is with teeth, I could.
I don't know. I think you'd look pretty funky without those teeth.
No, but I think you can buy new ones. With hair, it's hard to buy a new lid.
I'm pretty sure you can buy a toupee.
Oh, imagine that though, a toupee.
Well, I fucking used to wear one, didn't I? So I can't imagine it.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, because I got hair loss.
No, but you don't need it now.
Not anymore.
It's stronger than ever.
Yeah, it is.
It's unbelievable. I was thinking the other day, I had a Britney moment a couple of months ago, and I was like, I should maybe just shave my hair off.
I actually don't think you'd look bad without hair.
It's still something I think if you can pull off no lid, I think is incredible. But I just don't know. I'm going to do it at some point.
What, shave
One
the hair?
more breakup, I'll just get rid of it.
What is it with I do that? What is it with through a breakup that people like to change their hair?
Imagine me and Lydia, both no hair.
I did it once, and I don't know why I thought it was a good idea. I was dyeing mine pink, and the colour I had said was like candy floss pale pink. Fuck me, I looked like a troll doll, and I was walking around looking like I was nuts. It was awful. I had fairy liquid in there trying to get it out.
Fairy liquid?
Yeah, it was before we filmed Ibiza.
You don't want to put that fairy in there. No, if I could have my hairline, I'd love it just above the eyebrows. If I do, just a little bit down. Yeah.
Okay, so we've established that you'd rather keep your bush. Confession. I went on a date from Hinge, and I kid you not, the first thing he asked me was whether I was looking to have kids anytime soon.
That's quite a good question.
I'm 36, because he wasn't looking for anyone desperate. I told him to get over himself and went straight to meet another guy instead. Shortest date ever, but why waste time with someone like that? I mean, yeah, fair. I would have fucked off as well. But it's really hard. This is a hard one, actually. Give me your opinion on this, because so women obviously have a body clock.
Agreed.
Like, it's obvious and it's going to happen at some point. Like, you know, you're sort of in your prime. What is it, 30? And when you're over 40, your class is geriatric. Is that true?
Of course. I get it.
But, like, obviously that's something women have to think about. But if you were to suddenly date, say, a woman who was 36 who hasn't got kids yet, you would be aware of the fact that that's obviously a possibility that would be something sooner rather than later.
Yes.
But you would go into it knowing that, surely.
Yes, for sure.
So why is it sometimes that guys almost act shocked when women talk? I know this is the opposite of this thing, but why do men almost act shocked when when that suddenly comes up?
I think it's probably maybe a maturity of a man. So I think asking anyone firstly their age is terrible. But also, I feel like you can kind of know. But I also think about age, but also I think it's such a personal matter. Was this a first date, by the way?
Yeah.
First date? I think talking about babies, I think is quite a nice thing to do. But maybe maybe you should be a little bit more sensitive for sure.
But you also can't call someone desperate at 36.
One thing I have learned about celebs, apparently you need to just lay out everything.
I'll be honest.
Lay it all out and be honest.
I do think that's a good thing, because otherwise, that's what I don't like about dating: time wasting. That's the problem. Which is why, if I'm totally honest, if I was to go on a date, I'd rather go for a drink, because you can pick up someone's vibe pretty sharpish.
Not straight home though.
No, not home with the person.
Okay.
No, because you can tell quickly, unless sitting through a painful dinner when you know it's not going that well. Like, I have done that. And out of politeness, I think I've ended up going on second dates with people, which I should have just said, listen, sweetheart, it's not for me.
Yeah, exactly, sweetheart. I agree. But you're right. I also, the dinner thing, I was having the dinner and going for more dates. You know straight away, yes or no, I think.
I'm such a pussy though. I would rather meet someone in like a group environment. I would say let's all go for drinks.
Exactly.
Takes the pressure off.
Exactly.
Dating is just quite a stressful thing, isn't it?
It is like organised fun though, isn't it? Like dating. I like just to like meet someone out, spontaneous, see what happens. Not a fan. I agree with you.
Right. Tell me, what have you got coming up this year?
I've got a new season of Main Chelsea coming up very, very soon after I wrap Celebs Go Dating. Can't wait, Been pretty calm on Celebs Go Dating. I'm looking forward to. There's a lot of people need to catch up on. Things need to be said. Obviously, it's. I'm looking forward for that chaos.
How are things with you and Yas now, though? So if you were to see her dating someone else, how would it make you feel?
I think we're at a point now where I saw Yasmin. I bumped into Yasmin and her mother at the weekend. I think me and Yasmin, there's so much love and care.
Yeah.
I think I want her to move on and be happy.
Yeah.
And I respect anyone who's with Yasmin, but one condition: you've got to look after Yasmin. But I think we're at a point now where we know we're both moving on for sure. But I'm excited about that. Also, what else have we got going on? Working with Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's doing
Day in the Life of Sam Prince. If anyone's fascinated, you could find that.
And I'm apparently, and also I'm coming back on Private Parts.
And what's your Hinge name?
My Hinge name is Sam J Prince.
Oh wait, you can't find people on Hinge, can you?
No.
I'm still not on fucking Rare. I don't want to give a shit. I don't want to date anyway.
Guys, I did try and get on Rare.
Did you?
Impossible.
I'm still on the fucking wait list.
Impossible. Yeah. But I'm not on Hinge, but I am on Instagram. That I post lots of coffees and mostly the sky. If you're interested in that
and
sort
a gym,
of stuff.
can I be on your party to the topless selfie in the gym?
Yes, recently.
That, by the way, is top of my ick list. I think it's too much.
It is.
And also, can I say something at the moment, which we have discussed on this before? I understand it's hot out there. People shouldn't really be running down the streets topless.
Agreed. Also, when you have a convertible, the uniform is not topless. I don't understand why do they do that? Just because you're in your little Audi A1 with the convertible and they've just got this hairy rug out. No.
Hairy rug.
No.
Well, Sam, you've been an absolute delight, and I'm sure people can't wait to see you on Celebs Go
I
Dating.
think everyone is absolutely over the moon, and I can't wait to hear all your feedback. And just let me know your thoughts.
Thank you for tuning in.
Olivia, thank you so much. You're wonderful. Thank you.